Born with unmatched power, a relentless drive, and goal-scoring machine mentality, Erling Haaland's rise to football stardom wasn't by accident. From his early days in Norway to breaking records in the Premier League, let's see how the young striker became one of the most feared players in the world. The beginning. Before the world knew him as Erling Haaland, the player who shattered records and laid to waste defenses, he was first a small child born to a family with football embedded in its DNA. Erling was born on the 21st of July in 2000 in Leeds, England. His father was a tough and talented midfielder whose football career was tragically cut short by a bad tackle in 2001, and after he retired due to injury, the family would be forced to return to Norway, where the young Erling would spend most of his childhood. His mother was a former heptathlon athlete and noticed something different about her son. Even as a toddler, he was quite athletic. It would be obvious that he was built for sports, and at the tender age of 5, he had already broken a world record for the longest standing jump for his age group, clearing a lengthy 1.63 meters. His raw abilities were no accident, though. He was destined to be a football star. Every football fan dreams of making the right call and winning big. Now it's your turn to bet on your passion and turn your football knowledge into real crypto winnings. Welcome to Crypto Rush Sportsbook, where every match is an opportunity. Bet on your favorite teams, cash out instantly, and celebrate like a champion. Crypto Rush makes betting easy, fast, and 100% crypto friendly. Visit Crypto Rush now and start your winning streak today. Use code CR50 and get $50 free to play sportsbook, slots, and casino games. Crypto Rush Sportsbook. Bet smart, win big. Bryne FK. By the age of 5, Haaland was already enrolled in the Bryne FK Youth Academy, where coaches noticed him right away. Besides his strength and speed, he had an intelligence on the pitch, an uncanny ability to be in the right place at the right time. He was always just 2 moves ahead of the others and could predict where the ball was going in the next moment. At age 10, he was a goal assassin for the youth team. In a single season, he scored over 40 goals and did it from every conceivable angle. He had absolutely no limitations. At the age of 15, he was way ahead of his age group, so much that he was promoted to the senior team and began playing amongst grown men who were bigger, stronger, and more experienced. Most teenagers would need some time to adjust, but not for him. He went straight into his first match on the 12th of May 2016 with aggression and speed. Haaland was growing rapidly, both physically and technically, and his movements were of elite level. It became clear that he wasn't going to stay in Bryne for long, and by late 2016, he had received an interesting invitation from the manager of Molde FK, Norway's most elite club at the time. The manager had heard how good that Haaland was and wanted to see the magic in person, and so Haaland traveled to Molde for a trial session. When the trial began, they all decided that they had to sign him immediately. Molde wasted no time, and by early 2017, Haaland was already wearing the jersey. The Molde Experience. Molde believed that they could shape the 16-year-old Haaland into a goal-scoring machine, and that was exactly what they did. Haaland was still adjusting to a new team and style of play, and in his debut, he had played 20 matches, scoring only 4 goals. He had a lot of fine-tuning to do. He trained harder than anyone else, pushing his body to its physical limit. He remained behind when everyone had gone, going over his drills and perfecting his finishes. All the training would soon pay off, and the world came to meet a brand new Erling Haaland. On July the 1st of 2018, Molde faced Bryne, the league leaders who were unbeaten that season. Everyone had expected Molde to lose the game, but what happened next would awaken every major European scout. Haaland dropped a goal in the first minute of the game and another in the 13th with a thunderous left foot, and then claimed a hat-trick in the 21st minute. Just when Bryne thought that the torment was over, Haaland then made another goal in the 37th minute, and Molde took the game 4-0. From that day on, every European club was on alert. Haaland had wrapped up the 2018 season with 16 goals in 30 matches, a major improvement from his first year. And it wouldn't be long before Juventus came calling. In December of 2018, they made Haaland an offer. He had the option to either stay in Norway and develop or move to join the European Titan. Haaland shocked the entire world of football by turning down Juventus. He knew that they had a lot of star players and he didn't want to be placed on the bench. He wanted to be able to play every game and keep on improving. So instead, he chose to sign with Red Bull Salzburg, a football club known for developing young talent. It would be a risky decision, but Haaland had no doubt that he had made the better choice for his future. The RB Salzburg Takeover. In January of 2019, Haaland officially joined his teammates at Red Bull Salzburg, but had to earn his place because Salzburg had a strong attack. He would be relentless in his training, and on May the 12th of 2019, scored his first goal for Salzburg in a 2-1 win over Lask Linz. He was ready to prove himself in the biggest club competition of the world, Champions League. And in September of 2019, Salzburg would clash with Genk in Haaland's first ever Champions League match. By halftime, he had scored a hat-trick and the stadium erupted. Salzburg got a 6-2 victory, and Haaland became the third youngest player ever to score a Champions League hat-trick after Raul and Rooney. And all of Europe then knew that a new threat had arrived. Haaland went on to score in every group stage match, becoming the first teenager in history to do 5 consecutive Champions League matches. By December, he had scored 8 Champions League goals in just 6 games. No other player had ever done that before, not even Ronaldo or Messi. And by December of 2019, every major club in Europe would be desperate to sign him. Man United, Real Madrid, every single one of them, so he had to choose where he wanted to go next. His priority was a club where he would get more playing time and a place where he would be given a central role, and that's when he finally made his choice. Borussia Dortmund unleashes the Kraken. Erling Haaland signed for Borussia Dortmund in January of 2020, and the football world became curious whether he would replicate his RB Salzburg magic in a much tougher league. Could he handle the intensity of the Bundesliga? Dortmund had activated Haaland's £20 million release clause, a fee that now seems like a joke considering his meteoric rise. Bundesliga had never seen a debut like this before. Haaland had racked up a ton of accolades to himself in the 2020 start, bringing down defenses and breaking records along the way. After a series of spectacular matches, he made history as the fastest player to score 10 goals in history, and it seemed as though he was more robot than he was human. Despite Dortmund struggling for consistency, Haaland was unstoppable. He had scored 6 goals in 4 games in the Champions League group stages, 27 goals in 28 in the Bundesliga games, and helped Dortmund to secure their first trophy in 4 years, making them the team of the season. Haaland had scored 86 goals in 89 matches for Dortmund and won the Golden Boot for 10 solid goals in the 20 and 21 Champions League, the youngest player ever to do so. Even with injuries, his hunger for goals had never faded. As the season came to an end, it would be his time at Dortmund that also came to an end, and bigger clubs circled with mouth-watering offers. Brand new challenges awaited, which included the Premier League, Pep Guardiola, and Manchester City. Premier League meets Haaland. By early 2020, Erling Haaland had offers from Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, and other teams, but one club met his criteria for ambition, money, and tactful fitness, and that would be Man City. It wasn't only about the money and the trophies, though. It was actually fate. His father had played for Man City in the early 2000s before his injury retirement, and now the son was getting to finish what his father had begun. This would be more of a revenge comeback. At just the age of 22, Haaland was ready to conquer the Premier League, and the media, however, were skeptical about him adapting to English football and whether or not he would struggle like other strikers before him. Haaland would end up answering that question in 90 minutes. When Manchester City faced off with West Ham in the Premier League opener, Haaland buried a penalty in the 36th minute and in the 65th minute beat the goalkeeper one-on-one to seal the goal, ending the match with a 2-0 victory. Haaland wasn't only scoring goals, he was scoring at a pace that was never seen before in English football. He scored 3 consecutive hat-tricks, 20 Premier League goals in 14 games, and in the round of 16 he delivered a stunning performance against RB Leipzig. He scored 5 out of 7 goals to give Man City the 7-0 victory. Pep Guardiola substituted him in the 63rd minute, not because he was tired, but because he was on the verge of breaking every possible record. The final mission was to win the treble. City clashed with Inter Milan in the finals, and after a tough battle, Man City came out victorious 1-0. Haaland didn't score the final match, but his 52 goals in all the competitions ensured that Manchester City had reached the promised land. At just the age of 22, he had broken and created the greatest records in football history. history and remained hungry for more glory, where he then claimed the Super Cup from Man City on August 16th of 2023. He would then be awarded Player of the Year that same year and named the Ballon d'Or runner-up, only behind Lionel Messi. Haaland's story has only just begun, and he's already conquered England. What's next on the cards for the world-class striker? We'll just have to wait and see. What did you think about the great career of Erling Haaland? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss another great video like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.